This is Strictly Business with your host, Julian Rollocks. I'm going to be here with you with a very, very, very special guest. What makes this guest special? A lot of things. One of the things that make him special, he's one of us. What makes him special? He's an author. What makes him special? He's a successful businessman. So we all can learn a lot from this guest. I'm going to have him introduce himself, and we're going to go right into the program. Mr. Brown, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Rollocks.
How are you? How are you?
I am fine. I'm doing well, and I'm very happy to be here to do your program. This is actually the first time I'm doing your program. Um, I did an interview with you a few weeks ago. That's going to be aired soon on my blog. So I'm happy to be here to,
No, not
to
that.
do your blog.
I'm extremely happy to uh, catch you because you're leaving the island very soon.
Yes.
And uh, it's really, really a pleasure having you. I have tremendous admiration for where you were and where you are. Um, I'm an ex-teacher, so I observe people differently.
Yes.
Teachers learn to observe people differently. Different things impress a teacher than what would impress the average person.
Definitely.
I am impressed with your achievements. I'm impressed with your focus, and I'm very, very impressed with your record and persistence. Um, you are a role model to our young men and women, primarily our young men, because the development with our young men today is not good. I think you could agree with that.
Absolutely.
Um, they are drawn to the wrong things, they are influenced by the wrong things, and they're moving in the wrong direction. When you go into an insurance company, when you go into a bank, when you go into a notary, lawyer office, who do you meet? Women. You hardly meet men. Is that your experience?
Yeah, women have basically dominated the workforce, right? So if you go back where it started, I think in World War II, when all the men had to go to war, all the women went into the workforce because the men were gone. Once the men came back, then they would cycle back out. But women at that time has proven that they can be a big contribution to the workforce. You fast forward from that, it's also a good concept to have women in the workforce because you broaden your tax base, you
Yes.
broaden your
Yes.
consumer base because now you're
It's
putting
good
more
for
money, and
taxes.
it's good, and it's great for the economy.
Yes.
But there's unintended consequences. As
Mm.
women has gone more and more into the workforce, now they're 60% of the college students, and they are about 60% of the workforce. They are 60% of teachers. I
Wow.
went to the Miss Lally Center in St. Martin, which is a juvenile detention center. They're about 80% of the guards.
Of the gods
Of the guards
are women.
are women. Women. The counselors, a few of them are men. So boys have become so accustomed of seeing women outside of the home that men has almost become invisible unless they're in a sport where they have a coach who's a man. Um, they have a good church community,
You're very, very correct.
or they have a good family network where there's uncles and grandfathers are really in their lives, or
As
big
role
brothers and big
models.
cousins as role models. Apart from that, boys are really not interacting with a lot of men outside of that.
They interact among each other.
amongst each other, but they're all boys.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, so when you're going to become, so I said, children are born, boys are raised, men are built. So when you're a young boy and you see this man, you see the Julian Rollocks, you see the Gramey Browne, and you can say, I want to be like him when I grow up. We are losing that in the community.
Yes. There's an unintended consequence.
Yeah.
The fact that women are dominating out there has affected the home life.
Of course, because as you push women further and women push each other further, I think everyone just had taken for granted that boys were always built into men. They don't just become men, they become older boys. Because every year you get a birthday.
But you have to be built
and you
into
become
men.
older. But to become a man, you have to be built through blood, sweat, and tears and heartbreaks.
I have a very unique example. A mother, my mother, God bless her soul, raised 6 sons into 6 men. She never played.
Mm-hmm.
She never made she never made no jokes. And that's the way we raise men, because to take 6 boys and give a man to raise is rough.
And then I did great, but at 19, when I got my first heartbreak, you realize I was still a boy. I was a 19-year-old boy. You know, I had my intelligence up, I had my work ethic up, I had all of that up. But I wasn't a man yet.
Not yet.
And a girl exposed that in me. You know?
She did a good job, because she drove you down the right alley.
Yeah. And so boys don't just become, women do. And I think the world forgot that in the history of the world, we never had this, the woman dominance.
Never.
We never had it. No. So it's new.
It is brand new to the world.
It's brand new.
Because we always dominated.
Exactly.
Men.
And men always mentored the next generation of men.
That's correct.
To build them, because we understood you had to be built.
Yeah.
And I think society now have lost that, or took for granted that this is what it takes. Yeah. So in all the institutions around now, helping, mentoring, and assisting in building the next generation of men who's going to replace us has to be intentional.
Yeah. We have to take the initiative to, like, my son, I still have him under my wing. He's 38 years old. When I say have him under my wing, giving him directives, sometimes he takes it, sometimes he don't. And when he don't, he pays.
Of course. Yeah, there was a price to pay.
You know, because sometimes I tell him, go in, make a turn on A. He said, no, Daddy, it's better I go B. I said to him, when I tell you go A, it's based on experience. When you tell me go B, what is it based on?
Yeah. Feelings.
What's it?
Intuitions or whatever.
What is it based on?
Yeah.
Okay. So slowly but surely he's getting there. But you're totally correct. Raising boys nowadays is not easy.
No, it's not
My
easy.
brother Brown, I'm going to go right into your general objective. Folks, my good brother here is an author. He will tell you how many books he has written. He will tell you which books he's busy with right now, and where they are available. The floor is yours, my brother.
Yes, I've written 8 books so far. I started with my first book, which is about me, my memoir, growing up, learning the business of life. And it chronicles my upbringing. I was born in St. Kitts, raised on Statia, and then I came to St. Martin at the age of 17, and St. Martin just blew me away, and I came of age here on this island. And when I came, I saw the wisdoms, the holidays, the Rollocks, and I felt this was going to be the place that I would make it, you know. And I say in the book, the people I admired from Stacia when I came here, King Bobo, Lady Grace, Vance James Jr., Claude.
You heard him on radio.
I heard them on the radio. And those people were so dynamic to me as a boy. I said, if they're here, know that I'm here, I can make it. Because
they're here.
Yeah, they're here. This is the place. And I described it in my book. Beautiful book. If you have the entrepreneurial desire, that's the blueprint. Because it's my blueprint. It's a lived life.
I have that book?
Yes, that's the book I gave you.
I didn't go through it yet. But,
you gotta go through it.
Obviously, folks, listeners, viewers, obviously a very interesting book with very interesting objectives.
Very objective. I even have, after every chapter, I have a quiz. I give you 5 questions asking you so you can reflect. Who were you as a child? What do you want your next generation to have? What information do you want to pass on to them?
Excellent.
I had a mentor from the age of 14, and he was very intentional, you know. Mm-hmm. And even back then, when I look back at it, I realize, you know, basically he brainwashed me very positively.
That's good.
Because I was in an environment where all the things he was telling me and showing me and explaining to me, it didn't match. It was a mismatch, you know. And so this is what young boys need. They need their mind to be opened up. Yeah. They could soak up information from people who has lived it.
You've been here a couple of weeks. You've been back a couple of weeks, and I'm sure you've driven past neighborhoods where cliques of young men sit together.
The block.
That's not a good thing.
No.
Because there's no mentor, there's no example, there's no role model. If there's a bad influence, it
just dominates.
Right.
A boy is going to grow up and supposed to become a man. Again, he's going to become an older boy regardless. So now you got 40-year-olds walking around with the mentality of an 18-year-old.
Of a boy. Yeah.
Right? And so you have to be intentional with your boy children. Because girls, as we can see, are figuring it out. Right?
On their own.
On their own, and they have everything they look around them and see as support.
Yeah. When they look around, they just see women.
They just see women. The strength of a woman, the independent woman, the modern woman.
And they want to be like a woman.
Prime Minister was a woman. People in Parliament women is dominating.
Yeah.
Boys need intentional reinforcement of the men they want to become. They need to see the men in society that they can look up and want to be like. And so get your child into a sport if you don't have a man in his life. If his father is not there, raise his uncle, raise his grandfather, put him in a sport. The coach is most likely going to be a man. You hear so many athletes will tell you, coach this or coach that was instrumental in my life. He was like a second father. And I have a couple of second fathers and third fathers.
On your way up.
On my way up, I have who's still in my life. You know, I could call Michael Harris anytime, whether it's my wife's problem, my personal problem. I say, hey, Mike, you know what I mean? He's 85 years old.
Wow.
You know, and I've known him for 30 plus years. I've known him since I was 18.
That's an excellent coach because
you know,
there are very few things in life that he hasn't experienced.
He has lived that life. He's shown me different financial ways, managing money, investing money, like just things I wouldn't bump into.
Unless he told you.
Unless he told me. And I live the life of people who have lived. I'm not making it up as I go along.
No.
You know? And so we need, as a society, we have to tap into the resources of our elders. And, you know, from Africa, we have always done that. And I tell people when they talk about generational wealth and they throw it around, I want to do some generational wealth. I'm like, listen, generational wealth is not things. It's knowledge that passes down from
It's a
generation
mindset.
to generation.
It's a mindset.
Exactly.
My children were born, and from the time their lights went on, their consciousness, they met books on the table, from Malcolm X to Eldridge Cleaver to Martin Luther, etc. So from very young, they had a certain mindset, okay? Because the mind is very flexible at that time. You could play with it.
Yeah.
Uh,
You could train it.
You could train it. You could brainwash them into being Uncle Toms, or you could brainwash them into being men and women that can make a contribution to the
society.
Exactly. Tell us a little more about the other books.
So the other
Kevin.
books, then we go into my second book.
First book, extremely interesting.
So yeah, my first book is Learning the Business of Life. My second book is Gabriel, which is that's my first novel. It's a fictional novel, a little bit of my alter ego growing up, because I was raised like an only child till I was 12. Then I had a little sister. I have two older brothers, but they were not raised with me. And then that book is staged in Barcelona, Spain. And it's about a priest and a police investigator, and he too was raised as an only child, a lot of similarities, and the conflicts in doing the right thing and doing what's right.
You put your imagination to work at that time.
Yes.
Because you created that book.
Yeah.
I think it's also very interesting because, again, examples.
Yeah, I mean, creativity is the one thing that the human being, we can see everything around
Nobody
us
could control
was
it.
created. You know what I mean? And so our creativity is limitless.
That's a fact. A very good point. Something I learned from very young, that everything that you see is created twice.
Mm-hmm.
It's created in a person's mind and then
Yeah.
created in reality.
Yep.
There's no other way.
Nature has given us just nature.
Yeah.
The bare minimum. And we had to use it.
And our creativity had to create what we have today.
Exactly.
Good and bad.
Exactly.
So
and then my third book, so that's my first novel. It's called Gabriel, A Search for Truth. We've revealed the edge of darkness. And then my third book is Dating Advice to My Daughter.
Say again?
A full shift. Dating Advice to My Daughter.
Wow. That's interesting.
So we were having a conversation one time, me and my wife, my daughter, and part of the conversation, blah, 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 blah. And then I said, well, honey, if a man asks you out on a date, he doesn't want to be your friend. He wants to sleep with you. Now, it doesn't mean it's going to happen tonight or tomorrow night or a year from now, but that's what he wants.
Period.
Yeah, that's what he wants. And my wife said, no. When I was young, I had friends. I'm like, they became your friend after a while, and they didn't get to sleep with you.
Exactly.
But it doesn't mean they didn't want to sleep with you.
Yeah, but she mustn't try to. And that's one of the problems we have today, that women try to think like men. A woman can't think like a man. Okay? And we can't think like women.
Like women, no.
Okay?
So
that's why the advice you give is excellent advice. A man approaches a woman 90% of the time driven by lust.
Yeah, I said there was three main things a man sees before he comes over and say hello. And we literally judge the book by the cover.
Yes.
Whatever you're wearing,
that's all you got.
You are, that's all you got. So it's either sexual attraction, physical attraction, or intellectual attraction.
That's correct. Yeah.
From the female side, if it's not one of those three, they say hello because they're curious. He's cute. I'm curious, you know. And nowadays, with our modern women, many of the relationships that could be had don't happen because the basic human communication didn't process.
Yeah.
The guy says hi, and the woman says hello. If he says hi and you don't say hello, nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
Nothing. And so we judge the book by the cover. And when we step over, with all the courage it takes for a man to come over and say something, some women just look away.
Yep. But you, as a man, you're a hunter. Okay?
Hunters.
And when a woman looks away, don't take it personal.
No.
Move on. Because somebody will say, oh, see?
When you see the lion, the tiger, you see the whole herd going. You don't see them go after the one that lag in the back.
No.
Because that's not a hunt. Men are hunters.
Yeah.
We're naturally hunters.
It's something that women don't understand, I believe, because they interpret it different. But men are hunters, period.
Yeah, we're hunters. And once we achieve that hunt and we have you, you're our catch. You're ours now.
But the hunting instinct don't die.
No, never.
Hunting,
but right now you're ours.
Yeah, you belong to the pack.
Yeah. Yeah.
When we were living in Africa, we had several wives.
Yeah.
That was, according to your wealth, you had wives. And up to today,
it's still
it's a normal thing.
Even in our demographic, we don't have wives. We can't have multiple wives. But men of means, even growing up, I grew up in Stacia, small place. The men of means had multiple women, multiple families.
Same thing here. Yeah. Same thing here.
And I say to young men, if you don't have anything to offer to a woman, just want you.
Yes.
Like 90% of women, regardless of where they are, even the women who have made it, right? The women who are the independent, self-sufficient financially, they're still not picking you up if you can pay at least 50% of household expenses. It's nothing for nothing and very little for something.
Nothing for nothing
and very little for something.
That's correct.
Right?
Very little for something.
So you have to produce.
But
or
the development, Browne, has its positives, but a lot of negatives.
A lot of unintended consequences.
Yeah.
I call it unintended.
That's exactly.
Because
it is unintended.
At the time, no one knew that it would
exactly
go the way it is.
Yeah, right.
All right.
Women feel they got underpants. Yeah. Men can't raise the voice in the house. When men going out, they got to tell the wives where they're going, when they're coming back, because she gets the feeling, I'm bringing in the most of the money in this house and I run this joint.
Yep.
It's having a lot of negative consequences.
A lot of unintended consequences, where so many of our women are not even able to mate.
That's correct.
And the thing I say to women all the time, because since I wrote this book, I've been having so many conversations with women, even counseling them and saying, understand the male, because the book is written from a male perspective, father to daughter. And some conversations I have with my daughter is in there. And I say, a man's desire is to wow you.
Yeah.
When you build yourself so high, it makes it harder for the average guy to wow you. So now
very hard.
You lose 50% of your dating pool.
Yeah.
Because you went so high before you got a man.
But not only that, you wear it on your shoulder.
Oh yeah, you can't.
Got some women that are
freedom, independence, and you can't back down from it.
No.
Because you earned it.
But a woman could be a doctor, she could be a surgeon, she could be a professor, and walk in that door as a humble person.
Yeah. Because the world will still see you as a woman.
Exactly. And she will walk in there and attract different men.
Different men. But
Versus a woman walking in with all her degrees on her shoulder. And men don't want that. Men don't like that.
what women don't understand, because even today, a man of means picks the woman he wants. And by the time a man gets to his means, he's normally in his mid-40s or over.
Over.
And when you look at the kind of women that men pick who have means, I said 90% of them, they pick housewives. They're not picking career women. They're with career women, they met them in college.
You are totally right.
Yeah.
Browne, life has been good to me, and I thank God for it every day. I know my wife for over 40 years. My son is married to a career woman, and I see the difference. Because at a given moment, I told my wife, stay home and mind my children. Stay home and raise my children.
Yep.
I'll take care of business. Don't worry about it. You're a man of means, or you're a man of a certain standing. You want to cook. you want somebody that could cook you a good meal, not order it in. No. You want somebody who could hold your child when it has a fever and give it love, not ask the maid to do it. That's your job. There's a movie by the name of The Hand That Rocks the Cradle.
I think I saw that, yeah.
It's an extremely good movie. There are certain things you as the wife have to do. And if you put the maid to do it, eventually the maid becomes the wife.
In Hollywood, a lot of maids become wives, a lot of babysitters become wives.
Yeah.
Because men
so
know
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we want the nurturer. We want the woman in her raw form. That's why men of means will get a beautiful woman. They'll take a cashier. They'll take a woman from a Burger King drive-through window. Because they just want the basic woman in her raw form.
That's all.
That's it. A woman who's going to be loving, kind.
They don't need a professor inside of their house.
Exactly. I met my wife when I was 27. She was 25. She was pursuing an associate's degree.
Wonderful.
She was a head cashier at a local telephone company. And we moved to the States. She wanted to pursue her education. And she spent the next 18 years as a stay-at-home mom, and I used to call her a professional student, because in that time, she got 2 master's degree and a doctorate. But she was a stay-at-home, nurturing, cooking, washing, cleaning, driving my daughter to school, bringing her home. And we only had one child. But I could spend my time going out and working. And I would be home for 3 weeks and gone for 6 to 8 weeks.
Wow.
Right? But I was told earlier in my career, Gramey, you know where you want to go. You gotta date a woman that complements your weaknesses, so you could keep building on your strengths. And that's what I did.
Mr. Browne, we're down to our last
few minutes. So let me plug the rest of the books.
You go right ahead, sir.
So I got dating advice to my daughter, and then I went on and I did Tales of a Rideshare Driver, which is my experience driving Uber in the US. And then I have Catalyst Within, which is another beautiful novel. And then I went on to do The Salesman, which is also another beautiful one based in Florida. And you can buy my books in all the local bookstores on St. Martin, Van Dorp, Christian bookstores, Adolphus Richardson, Video Block French Quarter, and Anya Bookstore in Cul-de-Sac. So just go in and ask for any book by Gramey Browne.
Do you have a number that people could contact you?
Yes, 553-0071, and you can get free deliveries of any book that you want. 553-0071. You'll reach Brian Barry from the Video Block in French Quarter.
Wonderful. Well, I'm sure you enjoyed your weeks here on the island.
Oh, definitely. I love it. I look forward to coming.
This is where you love.
Yeah, this is still home.
This is where the seeds were planted. Um, I appreciate your candor, and I wish you all of God's blessings. I wish you very good health, and I wish that you just continue to thrive. As I told you in the beginning of this interview, the biggest revenge to envy is massive success.
Thank you so much.
Good luck,
Mr.
and God bless you.
Rollocks. Thank you very much.
Thank you.